Okay, we're on page 138. It says division expressions as decimals. So if you have 9 over 6, they want 9 over 6 as a decimal. So they look at it and they say, hey, it looks like 9/6. We're going to change that as 1 plus 3 over 6. How does the 9/6 become 1 3/6? 1 plus 3/6. Think about it. Guys, remember when we did this? 9 divided by 6. 6 goes into 9. How many times?
6 goes into 9 too.
1. 1 times 6 is 6. Subtract 3.
You get
1
1 and 3/6.
Oh, you get 3.
Where did I get the 3? Right here. 9 minus 6 is 3. So you have 3 quote unquote left over. Remember, leftovers always go on the top here. 6 goes underneath it. Or you can think of it as, hey, this is 9/6, which is basically, if you're thinking about it, let's say you've got 2 circles, they're split into sections of 6. This is 6 of them, and this is 3 more. So we've got 1 and 3 out of 6.
So
This is just how, so this, you got to get to the point where you can do this in your head. Anytime I see 9/6, okay, that's a full 6/6, that's 1, and there's 3 left over, and it's over 6 still on the bottom. This is what that looks like for the other thing. So, 1 plus 3/6, that's what we've got right now for our fraction. So then we gotta say, hey, if I've got 1 and 3/6, is 3/6 in the simplest form?
No.
No. So what do we have to do?
divide? No.
Can we multiply and think, can we get 10 or 100? Can you multiply 6 by anything and get 100? No, you can't. Can you multiply 6 by anything and get 10? No, but what can we do first? 3 over 6. Is 3 over 6 simplest form?
No.
No, what do we have to divide by?
1, 3.
Which number is it? 1, 2, or 3? Or is it something else?
3 over 3.
What is the biggest number that goes into 3 and 6? 3.
over 3.
So divide by 3 over 3. We get 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Think about it. 1/2, 3/6, same number. It represents the same thing. If I say I'm going to give you 3/6 of a car, that's the same thing as giving someone half of a car.
Huh?
Why would you?
I don't know why you would cut a car in two, but it's the same thing.
That's a waste of cash.
3/6 represents the same amount as 1/2. Think about it again in terms of this. 3/6, 1, 2, 3, or think half, 1/2. It's the same thing. You gotta get to the point where we should be at the point where we're familiar enough saying, hey, 3/6, same thing as 1/2. If you're wondering why you're maybe not more successful, it's because probably looks like 60% of you are not taking any notes at all. If I'm writing on the board, you should be writing on the board. If you want to do well in class. If you don't want to do well in the class, go ahead and don't take notes. Continue to not take notes. Up to you. There's a strong correlation. There's a strong correlation between people who do well and people who take good notes. Correlation means as one thing happens, the other thing also happens. So this now becomes 1 and 1/2. Anyone remember what 1/2 is as a decimal? That's not working for me. What? 1 and
1.5.
yes. 1.5. If we don't remember that it's 1.5, 1/2. How do we make 1/2 over 10 or over 100?
You take half away from 10 or 100.
No. What do we have to multiply by to get 10 on the bottom? 2 times 2 is not 10. Nope, don't multiply by 2 over 2. 5 over 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 5 is 5 over 10. 5/10. 5/10. Done.
Got it.
So you can, if you want to break this down into steps, get fraction in simplest form. If you like steps, so that you can just follow the steps and make them work every time, I'd be writing these down. 2, so 1, get the fraction in simplest form. 2, see what fraction, for example, 2 over 2, 4 over 4, or etc., anything else. That's what the dot 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 means. See what fraction to multiply by to get
The right answer.
over 10 or 100. I don't, sorry, this would be 100. 10 over 100. I don't think you're going to have any answers over 1,000 right now.
Yeah.
So, see what number you have to multiply by. 2 over 2, 4 over 4, etc. To multiply to get this over 10 or over 100.
Wait a minute.
And then from there, 5 over 10, 5/10. You're good to go.
Why would you write get over 10 or 100? Wouldn't you want to be exactly 100?
No.
No, to get this top number over 10.
Oh, no, it would be under 10.
Over means on top of 10. So this is 5 over 10. You want the top number to be over 10. You want the top number to be on top of a 10.
Oh, I thought you meant like.
No. To get 1 over 10. To get this, whatever number up here is over 10 on the bottom.
Okay.
Here, to say, I'll change that. To multiply to get 10 or 100 on the bottom.
Looks like you wrote 10,100.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that it looks like that. I don't know how to make you perfectly pleased with everything I do. I'm doing the best I can over here.
I think it's nice.
All right, so next, let's say we've got 2 1/4. First check, step number 1. Is this in simplest form?
No.
1/4. What can you
Yes.
do to reverse it? Yes, it is in simplest form. So now we need to see what number do we need to multiply by so that we can get this.
2 over 2. That's what I said.
This over. Can you what can you multiply by 4 by so you get 10 or 100? 2 over 2?
Yes.
No.
1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Is this over 10 or over 100?
No, 3.
Nope.
4 times 4.
No, that's
4 over 4. 4 over 4.
That's
4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. Don't guess. Think. 4 times what? Can you get 4 times something to get 10?
What's 4 times 1?
Can you get 4 times something to get 10?
No.
No, you cannot. Look. Think. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. So what are you going to have to do? You can't go to 10. You can't have 10 on the bottom here. You're going to have what on the bottom here? 100. 4 times what is 100? Or 100 divided by 4. If you're familiar with quarters, you should know the answer here. Answer is 25. 4 times 25 100?
Yep.
Yes. Is 1 times 25 is?
25.
So this is a fraction is 2 and
2 and
25 what?
Hundredths.
25 hundredths. Yes, 2 and 25 hundredths. All right, got to practice. We're gonna put you guys in partners again. Yep, same partners as yesterday. All right. 12 divided by 5. You guys can start as soon as it's on the board. 67. Whoops. 67 divided by 25. That's a fun one. 3 and 3/5. You can go. You can choose which one you want to be with. 3 and 3/5. 5 and 7/20.
like that. So, no.
And now you know all of them perfectly?
It's 12 over 5. And 12 under 5. 5?
Unless you got 60 out of 60. 60. I shouldn't see you guys being playing cards after 30 seconds. Tell me
Hurry up.
criteria.
Please. Stop. 5 and 5. What over what? 100. It has to be 100 something. What can now it should be divided by? But now 12 doesn't divide by anything. David, you start looking at that one. This is 5. Start looking at that one. I don't know when I'm going to find it. 5 times 5. How's 5? 12 times 5 is not 11. Because 8 times 5. What's 8 times 8? Right, what's 8 times 4? Then you're gonna put that in times. What's 6 times 50? Then you put the times. So then it's in it has to be 12. What's 12 over 12? What's 12 times 12?
That says 12 over 5, and you put 5 divided by 12. Just the FYI. That says 12 divided by 5, and you have 5 divided by 12.
You see, James, I told you.
It's right that on the screen, 5 divided by 12.
It does not say 5 divided by 12. 12 divided by 5.
Below that.
12 divided by 5.
How much? 2.
Oh, 5 divided.
The one in the middle is the one that's being divided by. If you see 64 divided by 8, you don't say 8 divided by 64. I gave you guys clues up on the board. 12, you have to do 12 divided by 5. How many times is 5 going to 12? 67 divided by 25. How many times is 25 going to 67?
I already did. Yeah, but how much times can
So you're gonna, so if you just tell me I have a fixed mindset and I don't want to be helped. What? Okay, if you don't want to do anything, just tell me I have a fixed mindset and I don't want to do anything.
I don't need it. Mr. Banana.
Okay, and you need to ask.
Oh, wait.
You don't want to ask questions, then I accept that you don't want to do questions. That's okay. It's a bummer that that's the decision that you made, that you don't want to do well in class. But when you choose to not do it, and not ask questions, then that unfortunately that helps you. What? 5 tenths is that 2 over 5? Nope. You have this 2 and 2 over 5 is correct. So 2 over 5, what do you have to multiply by on the top and the bottom?
You said it. 2 over 5.
Okay. What do we got? Can anyone help me with this one?
I think
You should do, just a second, 12 divided by 5. 5 goes into 12. How many times? 2. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract, you get 2. You have 2 left over, 5 on the bottom. You should know this at this point. This is the 3rd time we've gone over this in the last 2 days. You need to be writing this down in your notes if you're expecting it to actually remember it. Because the way this is going right now, the test is not going to look so hot. And I cannot spend more time going over this in class if you're not going to actually pay attention. So 2 and 2/5. We need this to be multiplied by something so that it gets over 10 or 100. Can you multiply 5 by something to get 10? No? sorry, this is 5. 5 times 2 is?
10.
I thought you just told me I couldn't multiply 5 by something to get 10. 6th grade, back to your desks.
What we were doing, I thought the 12 has to go into 10 and the 5 has to
You have to get this in, you have to get this as a mixed number first. You can't just say, hey, I'm gonna have 12 over 5. Remember, 12 over 5, 12 divided by 5. The first one goes like this. This needs to be in your, you're looking at each other and you're looking at each other when I'm trying to teach you. You're making it out to be a really long math class for both of us. I respect your decisions, but I disagree. 6th grade, I don't want to have to say it twice. What if it's 12 divided by 5, you have to get it as a, if it's an improper fraction, 12 over 5, you have to get it as a what before you can do anything?
Mixed number.
Mixed number. Write it down, star it, whatever you need to. Improper fraction. So that means like 7 over 5 or 18 over 4. Anything else? Star it, circle it, highlight it, do whatever you need to, but you cannot miss this in the assignment. 7 over 5, 18 over 4, whatever. It's if an improper fraction, it needs to be a mixed number. Write this down in your book right now. Not your book, your assignment right now. On your notes. This should be in your notes right now. Mixed number, 7 divided by 5. Do an example of how you would actually do it. 7 divided by 5. 5 goes into 7 1 time. 1 times 5 is 5. What goes up here above? What goes up right here?
2.
2
5.
over 5. That's the mixed number. 18 divided by 4. 4 goes into 18. How many times? If you don't know how many times 18 goes into 4, then you're going to have to...
4 times.
Huh?
Plus
And that was weird, it froze itself. If you don't know how many times 4 goes into 18, you're going to have to do this. 4 times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. And think, hey, 4 goes over here. You're going to have to write out, what do each of them equal? This is why we practice your multiplication tables so much. You should know at this point. You should know what your multiplication tables are so you can tell me how many times does 4 go into 18? How many times does it go in?
4.
4. 4 times 4 is?
8.
16. 18 minus 16 is? 2. 2 over 4. Is 2 4 simplest form?
No.
So we can divide by what to make it smaller?
2.
Not just 2.
2 over 2.
2 over 2. 2 fourths becomes what?
2 fourths equals
2 divided by 2.
1.
4 divided by 2.
2.
So 4 and 2 fourths becomes 4 and
A half.
1/2. You have to. I cannot say it adamantly enough. You've got to be able to know this stuff. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to copy the rest of this stuff down. After that, we're moving it back onto where we were. It is one thing to copy down what I write down, but you have to actually understand it. If you don't understand what I'm writing down, you have to ask right now.
I don't understand.
Okay, what part don't we understand? What? I can't hear you.
I really don't understand any of it.
Do you know what an improper fraction is? Do you know what a mixed number is? Mixed number is when you have a whole number and a fraction.
Oh.
a whole number, and a fraction. 1 and 2/5. 4 and a half. 4 and 2/4. That's an improper fraction. Anytime the reason we wrote this down. You can go to Ms. Gromowski's office.
Me?
Yes.
For what?
Because I told you to sit down 5 minutes ago and now you're arguing with me. Whole number, you need to get this into a whole number and a fraction first. Because the whole thing, ultimate thing is we have to make it into a decimal. If we don't have it as a whole number and a fraction, or a mixed number, that's what it's called. We're trying to get to improper fraction, two mixed numbers. So right here, 12 divided by 5. That's the same thing as 12 over 5. So we do 12 divided by 5, making it into a, right now it's a mixed number, we're trying to make it into a, sorry, this is an improper fraction, we're making it into a mixed number. So 12 divided by 5 goes in 2 times, 5 times 2 is 10, 12 minus 10 is 2. You know how to do long division, yes? Okay, if you know how to do long division, this should not be too hard for you. This is supposed to be something you learned last year. It was something you learned last year. You have 2 left over, so 2 goes on top, and then divided by 5 on the bottom. There is no remainder. Anytime you have a remainder, you make a little fraction, the remainder goes on top, and this number goes on the bottom. Extremely disappointing. Anyway, so we've got 2/5 here now. 12, 2 and 2/5 times, we're trying to get 10 on the bottom. If we can't get 10, then we try to get 100. Can we multiply 5 times something to get 10?
Yes.
2, right? Multiply 2 on the bottom, we have to multiply by
2.
2 on the top, because you're not changing the number, changing the way the number looks. And multiplying by 2 over 2 is the same thing as multiplying by 1. Anything times 1 is itself. So it doesn't change the number, just changes the way the number looks. 2 times 2 is 4. So we have 2 and 4/10, which equals 2 and 4/10.